All right, Flo. We're listening to the pivot, and the guy who I always loved Fred Taylor. I loved him with Mark Brunell and Smith and Brasali. Those guys, I always wanted them to win the Super Bowl. I've always been a big fan of him. But he was on this a pivot. He has a show with your boy Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder, who I'm not a big fan of Channing Crowder or Ryan Clark, but this was their conversation about Brock Purdy. Let's check this out real quick.
Not even the top 10 best player on that team. John Lynch is the real MVP, Fred. John Lynch is the real MVP. Kyle Shanahan's offense is the real MVP. Brock Purdy is good. Brock Purdy is one of the best 32 quarterbacks in the world. But bro, you can throw a number of quarterbacks on that team and still make that team good. That team could be in the Super Bowl without Brock Purdy. Is he a game changer or is he a game manager? And those words have got so crossed up,
they're difficult.
It's difficult to say
because in a way, everybody's a game manager of their system. But who goes above the X's and O's?
It's X's and O's, and I don't think Brock Purdy. I love how you say that. I don't think Brock Purdy goes above the X's and O's. He ran in the second half of the NFC Championship, and I love that, and I like that he got those first downs. But you can throw a number of quarterbacks, Fred. I swear to God, you could throw a number of quarterbacks in that same system, in that same game, and they'll still win that game in the second half.
They tried. They tried
Garoppolo.
They tried
Freddie,
with Garoppolo.
Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl.
They tried
is Garoppolo
Trey.
Great?
They tried with Trey. They tried with Jimmy G. This guy got both of them out of there.
Is Garoppolo
Listen, wait,
great?
let me finish my point, right? You're talking about game changer. If he didn't kick into game changer mode, their ass would be on vacation. They were down 17. This young kid went out there and played his ass off. He played lights out. That candle, that light, if he didn't make the passes he made or the runs he made, they're home. So without him, just go back last year when he got injured against Philly. After he got hurt, what happened?
Bitch, they had me at quarterback, Fred. It was 4 deep.
Christian McCaffrey played quarterback.
When he got hurt,
this motherfucker's taking
that's the point
shotgun
perfect.
snaps, Fred.
You proved my point. Without Brock
I'm not
Purdy,
proving your point.
without
Garoppolo went.
How did they get there? How did they get to the NFC
with
Championship?
a goddamn all-star roster.
They
That's
got
how they
there
got there. With an all-star roster.
They tried to get there with Jimmy G. They didn't. They weren't doing it. When this kid got in there, he turned it up and he took him to the NFC Championship game. When he got hurt, they lost. The shit was over with. Their season was done. He came back this year. He led them all the way back. They after the three game skid, we thought, oh, he's just Mr. Irrelevant. Lynch, he's part of the push and changing in the big pivot. He went out and signed Chase Young.
Chase Young.
That was a great sign.
That roster
was a
hell.
great
That
sign.
roster hell, though.
No, it's a great roster. That's all credit to John Lynch. But even after that, the young guy, he picked it back up. And he got everybody involved. That's his job. Kyle Shanahan is an amazing coach. He did what it took to get his young quarterback ready. This guy's been playing lights out, man. He had an amazing NFC Championship game. And without him, they are not in the Super Bowl. Without him, they do not even have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
All right, man. So Fred Taylor out there pretty much defending Brock Purdy, and he looks at the lens pretty much how it is, man. This dude had to lead us back 17 points down, but it seems like so many damn people like Channing Crowder out there. And then, of course, Ryan Clark, who's agreeing with him, who's like waving his pom-pom cheerleaders when Crowder's talking, which is weird because last week, again, he was back on the bandwagon, the Purdy bandwagon. So I don't know what the hell's up with that dude. But what do you think about Fred Taylor pretty much saying, dude, he's not Jimmy Garoppolo. What the hell's up with you guys, man? They're pushing it, man. You saw Crowder's eyes like, yeah, man, come on, bro, Purdy, he's just a guy. He's a good player, but that's it.
I just liked how Taylor was pretty much schooling them, man, with just facts. And you could tell these guys were getting pissed. They kept trying to interrupt him. And he was like, he was keeping his composure, he was relaxed. But, man, pretty much what he said, how this guy is a game changer, how we were down 17, and then he's the one who pretty much just started pushing us. He started getting us back into that game and obviously winning that game. With Jimmy G, we know that would have never happened. Once we were down like that, we were pretty much like game over. Because once Jimmy G had to sit back there and just start slinging the ball, it was bad. You knew that turnover was coming or that backbreaking play was about to happen. And Taylor was completely right. Because just look at the NFC Championship game last year. As soon as he got hurt, it was over. if he wasn't, if the system was so great, when your boy
Josh
Johnson came in,
who's pathetic.
he still would have been able to do something, right? No, he couldn't even do anything. He looked like a freaking Friday Night Lights high school kid out there compared to these guys. So you can't say no. It's Kyle Shanahan's system, because if that was the case, you put anyone in there and it works out, you know? And we've seen that. We've been watching these Niners forever, and we were like, always like, dude, we don't have that quarterback yet. Like, we have a good quarterback in Jimmy G, but we always say you have to have at least a top 6 guy to really have a chance to win a Super Bowl, and we never had that with any of these quarterbacks. Brock Purdy is that. He's legit could be a top 6 quarterback right now. They haven't really given him his credit, but just look at what he's done, man. In just 2 years, all he does is win, man. And that's all you need at the end of the day, is to get W's. I know sometimes his numbers aren't the greatest, even though he did have like four touchdown games, 6 3-touchdown games. So he has been throwing Brock Purdy.
Dude, his numbers match up with anybody in the NFL, dude. This year.
So yeah, the numbers are there too. But people don't even talk about that kind of stuff. They're just like, oh no, it's Christian McCaffrey, it's George Kittle, it's Brandon Ayuk, it's Deebo Samuel, who are all great players, obviously. But this guy makes them even greater, and that's why he's the game changer.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That's even a top 10 quarterback. Because honestly, Jimmy Garoppolo that year, let's be real, that NFC Championship game, he threw the ball 8 times.
Yeah.
8 times. And in that divisional game, people forget, against the Vikings, he threw that interception. Who was it? Someone, the linebacker from the Vikings. And then he almost threw another one right to him. Mm-hmm. And then after that, what did Shanahan do? We're running the damn ball. So we just ran the damn ball all the way to the damn Super Bowl. So the fact is, man, he's talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. We got there with Jimmy, man, he was on the passenger seat at the end of the day. Let's just be honest with it. And then when we wanted him to throw the ball in that Super Bowl, what happened, man? He turned into a pumpkin. And if we had Jimmy Garoppolo, the quarterback right now, that NFC Championship game last week, what happens? We're not winning that game. We're down 17. We're not winning that game against the Lions. There's no way. There's no way we're winning that game. So Fred Taylor, 100% spot on, man. And I know all these guys right there not giving Brock Purdy his flowers, pretty much saying, yeah, it's a system. Like, dude, been here, done that with that system crap. If it was a system, Nick Mullins would have been a Hall of Famer with us, but it just didn't happen, man. So I don't know, man. The part that confused me was Ryan Clark, man. This dude back and forth, the biggest flip-flopper of all time. Just 1 second, I'm riding with Brock Purdy all year. Then I was wrong. And then last week on ESPN, he's back, and then he goes on his podcast, and he's like agreeing with Crowder out there. And Crowder, I'll be honest with you, he played for the Dolphins and the Chargers. I vaguely remember him just because he was pretty much during the time with Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas was the guy in Miami, so Crowder was pretty much whatever. But I do remember Fred Taylor. I do remember Ryan Clark, both those guys. And I couldn't stand Ryan Clark as a player, but I love Fred Taylor. I always thought he was just like smart dude, genuine guy. And I really wish he got that Super Bowl. And it kind of, I don't know. When he was talking, I was just like, yeah, man, you are 100% spot on. Our ass, those guys would have been in Cancun right now. They would have been in Cancun right now if we had another quarterback out there. So I 100% agree with them. And hopefully, if he balls out this week, he could shut up a lot of these naysayers out there. All these naysayers that just, I don't know what it is, just because he looks like a white guy, like an average, like he looks like a substitute teacher. So a lot of people just can't stand the fact that he's like that. It's kind of like, as Laker fans looking at someone when Austin Reeves came in. When Austin Reeves came in, the people were like, dude, no way this guy could be any good. And then he starts balling out of nowhere, and then a lot of people still kind of hate on him, but then a lot of people are like, oh, shoot, yeah, this guy could ball. So it's kind of that effect, man. So that's just my thoughts, but what do you think?
Yeah, man, that's a pretty good comparison, too. Austin Reeves, Brock Purdy, they come out of nowhere and they just show out. But, man, this guy knows how to play, man. He is a baller. He's that game changer, like Fred Taylor said. But freaking Ryan Clark, man, this guy better not jump on the Brock Purdy bandwagon. If we go out there and win it, I don't want this guy back. I don't want this guy to be like, oh, yeah, I've been riding with Brock Purdy all year long. Like, because we're going to have the clips where he flip-flops back and forth. Because, man, this guy... That's the worst thing. I can't stand people like that who are just constantly flip-flopping. Like, I understand maybe you start thinking a certain way and then later on you change your mind, but at least you stick there. But to go back and forth all the time, to play both sides, nah, I can't ride with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you have a girl and she's like, you know what, I don't want this anymore. I'm like, you're like, fine, that's fine, dude, but don't come crawling back.
Yeah.
You're out doing your thing, you're loving life, and then 3 weeks later you get a a knock at your window. Hey, can I come in? Hell no, you ain't coming in. I got another one in here. So, I don't want to go there. But no, that's kind of like that though. You're just like, dude, I'm sorry, Ryan. You just go do your thing, man. Just do whatever the hell you got to do. But we don't want you back. At the end of the day, you kept going back and forth, and we ain't about that, man. So all that good talk about Brock Purdy, I don't care, man. Just talk about other quarterbacks because you have no credibility whatsoever. It's a white noise, man. That's what it is. It's white noise. It was Sean Salisbury that said that. So he's like, dude, your credibility's gone. So hopefully Brock Purdy gets it done. And I think he will, man. I think this dude, he's a silent assassin, and I truly believe that he's going to get us that 6th ring. And all the haters, man, are going to have Judgment Day coming. Judgment Day's coming, baby. So get your popcorn ready, baby. We're going for that 6th.
Yeah, Brian Clark, you went out in the street. You got to stay there. Stay out in the cold. No coming back in, all right? It's too late for you. But like Sly said, let's go get that 6th ring. Brock Purdy, show out. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See y'all next time. Peace.